Right, hello again. I just sat down to play some GeoGuessr a couple of evenings ago. Just kind of thinking to myself, I don't really play the country streak format very often, but I was once on the world record list for it. So I just kind of thought, I wonder if I still have any skills, given that I'm a bit rusty at the moment as well, or rustier than I was about a year ago, let's say. Yeah, so I kind of messed around for 10 minutes, not really having much luck, but then kind of came into a decent streak. So the first one there was Russia. I think that was nothing too tricky. This one is Australia. Kind of rushed past that. Maybe the bollards helped. The terrain obviously helped. I felt that this was Turkey. Whoa. Okay. I was happy with that. So this one, kind of an obvious Japanese. If you're familiar with the architecture and the type of brickwork, the type of signage, the overhead power lines, not too hard. I think this one baffled me for a split second. I think for some reason I thought I'd seen French, which is why I hesitated here. I don't know why I thought that. And then I realised actually it's Italian and English. But this, in hindsight, this should be quite an easy Italy one, really, because to be honest, even the way this road is paved. Also, the camera generation as well. I think this is Gen 2. But for some reason, I think basically in GeoGuessr, once you get an idea in your head, it's hard to turn back from it. And I, for some reason, thought I'd seen French, which is why I was just taking extra long to make my mind up. But we're out on San Domino. So that's 5. Now on to the next one. I think I had half an eye on some TV or something while I was playing this, because I was just kind of messing around, wasn't really expecting to achieve anything really. It says Darwin on there, so that is pretty obvious. It says Darwin skills development. There's trees work as well, just because you never know if you're in some other Darwin. And then we've got the domain name, so nothing remotely difficult about this one. Kind of fancied that I might get the right road. Not quite. So on to the next one. I probably just had to trust that this was, let's see, once I look around. I'm guessing I just had to trust that this was US. And we turn around, we see the speed limit there in miles per hour, makes it an easy one, but it was actually up in New Hampshire, it looks like. Next one, more European looking. Let's see. Okay, kind of German looking language. I end up in Austria, I'm guessing. Yep, it was Vienna. But the streak is still on. Right, this is for 9. Kind of Romanian looking fences, architecture generally. Quite kind of dry and hot. And then I think I recognise that is, from what I remember, Romanian. So, on that car, I do feel like it's away from the kind of mountainous area because of that dryness, but it ends up being east rather than west. This one, it's a desert with quite a high quality road, and we've got mountains to the east, so we should almost definitely be just to the west of Fujairah. Definitely expecting to be close with this one, and it is close. So that's 10. That is 10, right. Let's keep going. 10's always a good place to get to in a country street, because then you kind of, I don't know, it's quite easy to get one wrong in those first 10, and once you're past that, you can just focus up. So I'm probably thinking here, what am I thinking here? I'm thinking that there's some European plates. So I probably first thought it might be Russia. I think we had a European plate there, which is making me think more towards the Baltics. I go for Lithuania just because I feel, don't know, something about the architecture just made that one come to mind first. And it was right, thank God. That could quite easily have been a stumbling block. This one's Senegal, we've got some French. Looks like it's Africa, and it's quite dry. Just looking for a clue to see if I can pinpoint just for the sake of it, but end up close anyway in Diobel, near Diobel. Ooh, this one then. Southeast, Sri Lankan feeling actually. Yeah, the white buildings with those terracotta roofs, and that black and white post as well. You see quite a lot of that. I think we're like driving on the left. I think it's quite an easy Sri Lanka one. Yeah, and I had a feeling. I think the architecture pushed me towards the south coast. I might have just been lucky. Right, now I'll make my mind up, and I think I zoom in here, nothing really, just go Nigul, just feel like that's quite likely, and it is. Right, we're pushing towards 15 now. What have we got here? We've got something that looks like UK, but what if it's... It says Banbury, okay, so that's Oxfordshire. Seems pinpointable as well on this junction. It pointed towards a park. I think there's a sign pointing towards a park. The yellow sign there, Longford or Langford Park. Worth looking for. I guess I'm on an okay score in this game, so worth trying to get the 24 plus K when you can. I don't think I find the park, but I just kind of go for this junction and it ends up being right. So for 15 and also for a good game, what do we have here? We've got Australia. The NT border, so kind of pick Queensland, Western or South Australia. Could feasibly be either of them. I don't put too much thought into it. I just go for one. I think it ends up being towards Alice Springs, yeah. But we're alive though on 15. So let's go in. This is where we push towards 20. Good place to get to. Right. Definitely North America. Let's have a look around. Do we have anything that can help? I think I just... Seems like the US. I must be fairly confident it's the US here. So, Australia again, just trees, and I guess we can see we're driving on the left there, the 10 as well. And then I realised it doesn't look like this area. I remember we have those kind of road signs in Western Australia, so I'm looking for the 10. Because you get those blue road number markers around Victoria as well, I think, but it doesn't really look right for Victoria. And it was the 10, but just across that way. And another one in Australia. It's instantly recognisable mostly with the trees. I guess also the road markings help a bit, the bollards help a bit, the white street signs help a bit. We're driving on the left, it all adds up, but the trees give you that instant sense of where we are. This is a potential stumbling block here as well. I mean, I'm thinking it's Asia, and I go for the Philippines. I just think, I don't know, I just get an overall sense, and it is, I feel like something like Indonesia would have been possible there, but it didn't quite feel right to me. And then I feel like we were in Australia again. Again, we're driving on the left. Again, the trees are just helping. So I think in this individual game, that is... Let's see where it ended up. Further north. But in that individual game, 3 in Australia, that's pretty rare. Let's be honest. I wasn't too far away with all of them, which is something for me because I'm normally quite bad in Australia. Right. Okay. I think the markings down the middle of the road here helped a bit. The kind of 2 white lines with a dash line in the middle, maybe. Quite an easy Japan one. So I think this is to go to 20, right? Once we've done these. If we get through this round. If we get through this game, I mean. Now. I get a strong feeling that this is far northeast in the US. I think the miles per hour sign means it is US rather than Canada. We've got a state road number. So... I don't know, Maine just feels likely. I kind of go for it, and then I see that 191. Should really have realised we're by a town. I do have a look at a couple of the junctions. I should have just gone closer to the town, really. I think I just end up there. Don't really see anything else that fits, but I should have just looked a bit closer to Cutler, which is where we were. But we're still good. This is for 19. Portugal. Oh, I remember what happened here. For some reason, I just thought it maybe had that feeling of being the Azores. Quite a heavy atmosphere, but come to think of it, the northern part of Portugal has that too. Couldn't really make much sense of that. The more I look at this, the more I realise it's just actually just quite classic northern Portugal, but I just had a vague feeling somewhere, or maybe I was trying to be too clever. So I go here and let's see. Yep, very near Porto. Annoyed with myself for trying a bit too hard there. This is an interesting one. Right, this looks initially like it could be Nigeria or something, you know, somewhere near the coast on one of those fairly unmade roads. So I zoom to Nigeria. Got the breeze blocks as well, which kind of fit. But we've got this roof rack, which you don't get in Nigeria, and it's making me... it's not the Ghanaian one either. It's making me think of the Dominican Republic, and I'm just now thinking, right, is that possible? Does that fit? Where would it be? I'm thinking to myself, it would be coastal, but then I'm looking at the colours of those buildings, and I'm thinking... kind of Caribbean area, you get some of those colours in the buildings for sure. Not too dissimilar to something you might see in Curacao. And I definitely settle on the coastal part near to the capital. And I bite the bullet here and go for it. Let's see what this ends up being. This is for 20, and it is. I think it's 20. It's not 25, is it? We'll see. Right, this to me looks like Thailand. I think the bollards help. It's really easy to lose count in a country streak. I'm not even sure what we're on now. It's either 21 or 26. Louisiana State Road there, so just go for that fairly quickly. Very French looking road sign, just for that kind of italic font. Don't need much more than that. Oh, I look at, this is near where I was on my year abroad. Very near actually. So I'm just having a look at the map, just taking my time. Le Mans, very well, had some fun in that town for the 24 hours. The racing. Right, come on, get on with it now. I was around there, not far at all. Okay, next one. Ooh. Kind of thinking it looks Balkan. Based on the little bit of language we have. I settle on Serbia, just praying that can be right, and it is. I'm happy there, because I thought I might. That's often where I would tend to fall down in a country street. Got Thai flags there, so shouldn't be a hard one. So this is for 25 to or 30. I will clear this up. It's just I always manage to lose track. Right, decent score there as well. Let's go again. It's probably Peru. I think I didn't spot the black and white sign at first somehow. But it's quite easy to tell that it's Peru without that anyway. We're fine, still alive. Next one. Get Spain from this instantly from the buildings. Have a look around just to check, see a bit of language. And it was the Canaries, actually, it didn't even occur to me. A lot of palm trees though, so maybe I should have thought of that. Next one. So there's something Mex there, so. But I noticed we've got some yellow plates, so I'm just kind of having a little think to myself. But then the way you get in shops and stuff, you get all this, right, it's hard to explain, but you get this very kind of handwritten looking details about the shop and the products and stuff. I'm about to look at it again, I think, but yeah, it's what we have here. It's exactly what we have there on the white, the black on white writing. Very Mexican. So go in, and it's a Tabasco. Okay, right, next one. Definitely Asia from the kind of overhead cables, and what the agriculture looks like, the blue signs, which could kind of be anything. And I really was, honestly, at this point, I was actually thinking, is this Taiwan? Nothing, not close enough to anything to get a real clue. It just seems a bit vague, this one bit. And then as soon as I see this brickwork here up on the left, I feel 100% sure that it's South Korea. Just that type of red brick. And it is. Oof. Okay, what do we got here? Solo buses, okay. Sun's north. Trees are very well, the trees are of a certain latitude, I would say. We don't really have the white car, I don't think, but the road markings, again, there's quite good quality roads with quite clear white lines. I'm thinking of Chile. The trees help for this kind of latitude. Right, going one more. So I'm either on 30 or 35 here. The reason I'm hesitant is because I thought at first that I got to a certain number in the street, but now I'm thinking differently. So Highway 12, this is surely a US location. Very obviously South Africa, but I know Bothaville. I was sure it was right in the middle of the country. I just couldn't really find it. Not much point in looking really, but I was so sure it was around here. I think it's just a little bit further north than where I'm looking. Oh, I actually saw it there, but I didn't see it at the time. I've just seen it now. Anyway, no point in looking. We're not on a good score particularly. It's up there. US flag. Nothing more to be said. Wisconsin. I think it's Denmark. We've got that yellow plate. And then the signage looks familiar. The red on white there. It's definitely Denmark. Okay, now this one. Oof. So I'm instantly thinking from the buildings and the road markings and the kind of foggy, hilly, foresty landscape that we're in the northwestern part of Iberia. I think it's Spain. And it's Portugal by about 2 miles. So close to the border. But I kind of, well, it could have been either country there. I kind of rushed it at the end. But pretty good streak of 34 or 39, which I will check. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and see you soon.